There was a time in South Africa where all the best-selling cars were sedans. Well, it seems that the makers of the people's car has given up on sedans entirely. Well, almost. Not before they give it one last bash. Because the traditional three-box design has fallen out of favor, VW has given this Polo sedan a dramatically sloping C-pillar, perhaps paying homage to the Arteon, which is no longer. This specific range-topping model comes with chrome bits up front, we've got 16-inch scimitar alloy wheels, and we've got this burgundy paintwork, which really gives the car an upmarket feel. If this beige interior isn't a throwback to a 90s Passat, I don't know what is. It does give the cabin a sense of airiness and space, but if you're planning to use this car for e-hailing or even for your family, this color scheme may be a bit impractical for you. I mean, I'm wearing beige pants and my pants already have marks on it, so can you imagine what this must be like with a 3-year-old? Anyways, besides all of that, everything here is as VW as you'd expect it to be. There's even a slick touchscreen infotainment system which gives us Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. My one bugbear, however, is these harsh plastics on the side. Although, where you do put your arm, it is padded quite nicely, so at least you've got that. Another throwback in this vehicle is the drivetrain setup. There's no turbochargers and there's no double clutch transmission. Instead, you get a 1.6 normally aspirated engine and a 5-speed manual gearbox. This engine produces 81 kilowatts and 152 Newton meters, but I'll tell you what, for the setup of this car, it's actually very smooth and it doesn't lack any power. And mind you, we are in the reef, so you can imagine just how much more sprightly this engine would feel if we were down in the coast. The one benefit that you get from a sedan is the fact that you get a quieter cabin space. That is because the boot is enclosed, so you don't get any of the noise from the suspension or from the rear wheels coming through into the cabin. And as a result, you've got a more refined driving experience. On the highway, you do wish that you had a 6 ratio. You do get the sense that this car's revving a bit high because it's a 5-speed, so for me, for a long trip, I'd rather have a 6-speed manual gearbox. But that being said, those are small little bugbears of mine. Overall, this car does tick certain boxes if you're looking for a competent daily driver that is going to take you and the family around with ease. And lastly, we have boot space. 521 liters of boot space to be specific. Try beat that with your SUV. So, is the VW Polo sedan the last sedan we'll see from VW? We certainly hope not, because this car is just as competent as its other siblings. Whether or not it's going to set the sales charts on fire still remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, there's still a space for a sedan in our country.
To say that I was pleasantly surprised by the latest iteration of the venerable Polo sedan would be an understatement, but perhaps it's just my nostalgic side that's pining for more 3-box alternatives. Gents, what do you think? I mean, the Polo sedan, it's one of those cars that it's not an exciting car. It's not meant to be an exciting car, but what I loved about it was the honesty of the vehicle.
First thing you think of is Uber, and that's what I thought immediately when I got into the car. I thought, yo, VW is going to kill it here. I mean, they're gonna take on the likes of Nissan with Almera, they're going to take on the likes of Toyota with a Quest, and even Suzuki's Desire, for instance. So I think this is going to be the popular Uber choice. One thing I do want to pose to you guys, what did you think of that interior? I had it for December, and it was tough to look after that interior.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. What did you think, Jabulo?
Same here. It's a beautiful car. But I feel like it's for the big guys, more matured. If you want to take it individually, not for fleet, as it's saying, Ubers. So it's more reserved for the matured guys, and it's beautiful, nicely designed externally. Internally, you get that posh feel, as you just said. You do have that luxury feeling, but the cream fabric
Interior.
in the seats, it really messed me up because I had the kids
That's
on
the thing.
board with me,
That's
and it just picks up dirt like every time you're in the car. It will pick up dirt from your shoes, from your whatever. But it's beautiful. It drives well, handles well. I had an auto, so yeah, it lags a bit, but once it picks up, then you know you're in, and it's gonna keep on giving.
Can you get a darker interior? Do they only give you the beige in our country?
No. There is. I actually spotted one on the highway a week or two after I'd given mine back.
Okay.
And I saw one with a darker interior, and that one had the wheel caps.
Okay.
So I do think there is an option to do that. If you are in a position to choose, don't go for the lighter interior.
Yeah, I think that's for the lesser model, which is just the Polo sedan.
Yes.
The entry.
Not the Life. Yes,
I
the
see.
entry level. Yeah.
And I also did a bit of research about the light interiors. Do you know where the light interiors are big in other markets, in the Asian market? So in China, sedans are still a big deal, right? So what they do to give you the perception that the car is bigger is they do the lighter interior.
And
So
it makes sense.
that's
It
the
works.
play on that
It's
car.
working.
And listen, it is very roomy and spacious. Back seat, front seat, passenger seat, wherever you are. And also the roominess continues in the boot.
But the question is, are consumers going to buy these kind of cars, or have they moved on? Do you think that there's still the consumer out there that is die-hard sedan, or is it more now for a fleet customer or an old school guy? What do you guys think?
I think it's a bit of both, because people are obviously believing more now in the SUVs, the smaller SUVs. People love the Jettas, and I think will it not maybe kind of chip in into that market? Those guys who were still up for Jettas, this kind of takes over and carries forward the legacy.
But remember, we only lost the Jetta purely because the UK stopped the Jettas.
Yes.
So what you're saying is actually right, that there's still an appetite for sedans. So people would rock this car every day as a daily, or even the fleet managers or fleet buyers would buy these as the go-to car for the fleet. Yes, sedans may not be doing so well here, but I think there's still a gap for sedans. And I think VW was so clever to bring such a premium level to the Polo sedan to allow for people to actually have this kind of option. I would hit it as an everyday.
That's true.
It's a perfect everyday. I would do it in manual though,
100%.
because I dictate when I need the power, how I need the power. So I was really, really happy to see that manual gearbox come in the car.
Pricing wise, what do you guys think?
The pricing is not as bad as I expected it to be. I mean, this is the first car where I felt like, okay, this speaks to the value I get from this car.
350K for a car like this. Yeah, it can go on forever, for sure.
Whether the Polo will find mainstream appeal in an SUV-obsessed market remains to be seen, but I'm willing to put my money on its success.